So before I begin this video, I'm gonna let people know that I haven't been uploading lately because the game's quite stale. Everything's just like you come on a game and you do your dailies and you get off. There's not much to do. Any is nice, but we're not stuck in any because we know what to do. Most of the content are just like over bloated stuff. They're not really hard, it's over bloated. And until like the new season zero stuff drops, I'll make videos on those depending if it's hard or not. I don't know if I'll make a video on that because the last event was super easy. The tide event, yeah, I don't know if the new things are going to be like that. So hopefully it's not. But if it is quite technical and quite hard, I'll make a video to try and help people. But for this video, it's just going to be about all the royals from Gen 1 to Gen 3, talking about their full potential and where they stand in PvE, not PvP, sorry, in PvP, and the follow of the meta and all sorts. Every royal in this game has got their new royal from the Gen 3, so this is why I'm making the video. The new ones won't be in the tier list because I don't know what they do, but when they do come out, I'll talk about them in the next video. And if I do buy any, I'll most likely buy the Doom one. I'll show you how strong it is in like 1 or 2 videos. But yeah, this is just going to be about the Gen 3 to Gen 1 royals. So the first one we got is Janna. We already know how strong she is. She is definitely one of the best characters in the game. I wouldn't really say she is the best character in the game because she's like joint first with someone else. But there is no bad side to Janna. Janna's just like all positive, no negatives. She is 108 speed, meaning that she's going to be really good in the future. The reason why I mentioned 108 speed is because the speed is really important on defense. If you can move before the enemy team, you can get your relics before them, like Holy Shield with the Blades of Chaos, or if you put her in another team, you can get like these relics off. Again, every time an ally moves, you get 5 flame on your team, which is really good. Her damage is insane, so she's a fast DPS nuker, and she can attack everyone in the enemy team. So if the enemy team has Holy Shield from Demon or Blades of Chaos, you can remove that in round 2, and then someone like Selene has 105 speed that can just one-shot the enemy team, and she has a distraction with her minions. If you don't know, every time a minion spawns, they can distract certain characters in the enemy team because they will always attack that minion before Janna. So someone like Nyx is a really strong powerhouse. She would always focus the minion before Janna because that's her direct sight. So if you put Nyx in a different site of Janna, so let's say Nyx is in slot 3 and Janna is in slot 5, Nyx will always attack slot 3 first, position 3 before 5 or before 4. And if there is someone in position 3 or slot 3, she would then go back to target in 3 and kill in 3 and go back into 4 or 5. So again, if you want to distract someone like Nyx, it's a good person you want to put against her. And she is 108 speed, and she does apply a shield to 3 of her strongest DPS in her team. So again, Janna's a really strong DPS overall, and I don't see her ever being bad in the game. And one more thing to mention about her whole kit is that when she does apply shields to people, it's always the highest attacking people in your team. So people like Selene and anyone in the future is always going to be protected by Janna. So yeah, she's definitely one of the best DPS in their team, and her being Phantom and Avengers is just even more annoying because she can come back at least 3 times in one fight. So yeah. Talos or Talos, she's really good. Glorians are really strong right now in the meta because even for a free-to-play team, they're insanely strong for free-to-play. You can get her from many places. You can get her from you can get her from the 14-day I think 14-day card bundle or whatever it's called, you get for free, and you can get her from Abyss Crusade in the event. So as a free-to-play player, you can get her from many places and build her up, and you can also get her from Oracle coins. She is really strong. There is not much bad sides about her. She only has one bad side. It's that she doesn't really play great against her own synergy, being Glorians. You can use them against anyone else. She's really strong. She can stun anyone in any other team. She just can't stun her own synergy. If you don't know, Glorians have CC immunity for a few rounds, so she doesn't actually do her full potential against her own people. But anyone else, she does a lot of damage, a lot of CC, really annoying. Her speed is quite low. I think it's like 103, 104. So that is the only downside to her. And another downside about her is that she isn't really universal. You can't really use her on other teams. So let's say for me, I'm a Doom user. I can't pick up Talos, but I can pick up Janna, but I can't pick up her. So her universal is just kind of terrible. You only can use her in like 2 teams max. And those are teams that have a lot of stacks and they can get the stacks off before she dies. But a good part about her is that she is a Monarch, and she is in the meta team right now for free to play, and she is easy to get for a free to play player. So yeah, really good overall. Monarchs is the best synergy in PvP as the third synergy. You can't really die, and if you can't really die, then it's really good when you're playing against a lot of powerhouses in this game. Next is going to be Gwyn. I'm putting Gwyn in A, not S. The reason why I put him in a lot of people may not agree, but I'm going to say why he's an A for me. You don't really need him as much. You just need to get him like a few duplicates. You don't have to get him like 10. You don't have to get him 15. You get him to like a certain amount where you can apply the stacks. And then in round 2, he can die. He doesn't really care about him. As long as Talos gets the stun, he's kind of useless. You don't really need him anymore. Once she moves, she's going to kill the whole team. He is one of the main reasons why they work, why Glorians really work. Because every time the enemy team attacks you, you get an attack buff applied to your whole team, giving you stacks. And the more stacks Glorians get, is the more stunned, or I think the stun duration is going to be increased by Talos. So that's the good part about him. The bad part about him is that he's super slow, so he may not even get a turn off if there's a lot of powerhouses in the game, and he is not really good in other teams. So if you try to put him in like a Mystified team, it'll be no point. If you put him in like a Doom team, it'll be like no point in putting him Doom. If you put him in Avengers, you get the point, right? He's not really universal in other teams, but he is good in his own team. And yeah, like I said, if another character comes out just like him, he may lose his position in Glorians because he's mainly for the stacks. That's about it. And he has a heal in his kit, but we don't really care about the heal because they have a lot of sustain. So yeah, he doesn't really have much going for him. He is strong, but there's not much going for him because even Protector doesn't work in Glorians because they don't really need Protector, right? Because everyone that has Protector in Glorians are bad, like the Mermaid. You don't really want to use the Mermaid because she's terrible. So his synergies aren't the best either. So yeah, I'm putting him in A for now. Next, Lamar. I'll put Lamar in S. I wouldn't really say she's one of the best characters. She is really strong. She can work in Ethereals with Protector and stuff, and she can work in Doom. The only bad thing about Doom is that she doesn't actually fit Doom perfectly because Doom hasn't actually got all the DPS yet. When the Gen 4 Doom comes out with Protector and Doom, she'll be even more better in Doom, and she is better in other places like Ethereal. I think Ethereal is the best suited place for her right now because she can work with Carak and she can work with Catherine, but her damage is a bit low because she has no main synergy, if that makes sense. Her main synergy being Doom doesn't actually apply damage to her, so she isn't as strong. She is 108 speed. Again, like I said, 108 speed is one of the best speeds you can get in the game for a DPS. It's just that she isn't got a lot of damage if you don't kind of buff her in her team. Like in Doom, she has no damage because there's no damage in Doom. Her damage is good based off how many times she can reflect her counterattack. I think it's a counterattack, right? Every time she counterattacks, she can get stronger, but then she can only attack one person with that counterattack, which is the first person in front of her. She is strong, don't get me wrong, but she isn't as strong as other DPS. She doesn't do Janna damage. She doesn't do Talos damage. Her damage is really strong, but it's only on one target, so it's not as strong as it is meant to be. But she is good, don't get me wrong. She is everything's good about her. It's just that she's a Doomsayer, and Doomsayer is quite bad right now, making her lose value in other teams. Next, yeah, he dog shit. Don't get me wrong with that. I do think he's the worst role in the game. If you're probably thinking he's not that bad, I'll tell you why he's bad. I need this guy to get reworked so badly. He's awful. That's why he's free. So let me tell you why he's terrible. First of all, in Doomsayer, he doesn't actually do anything. He can't buff Reflect, and Reflect is one of the most important things in Doom, and he can't do that. So that's one reason why he's bad. His universal is quite good. He can play in other teams. He can play in Ethereals. He could even play in any other team that's based off Enchanter. So that's the only good thing about him. The only bad thing about him is that he can't crit in other teams. His kit is all about critting. If you crit, you get a stun, but you can't crit, so it's kind of useless. If you're an Ethereal, he's good, but why would you want to use him in Ethereal? Because even if you use Leviathan, the Link skill, and he does a stun, you only get Reflect boost, and I don't think you want Reflect boost in Ethereal, so that's kind of pointless to have. And he's at 101 speed. He's too slow. Either he's dead or he's doing nothing. That's what I hate about slow targets in this game, that slow DPSs. They either die or they move, and he's not going to move, and he's dead, so kind of useless DPS. Unlike Gwyn may not move, but he does a lot of things for your team. So he's a DPS support with a slow speed. Same with Catherine. Catherine is really slow, but she applies a shield to Ethereals, giving them a shield for the whole duration of the fight. Again, another thing good about them. And unlike Gwyn and Catherine, when they do move, you are dead. They will kill you. There's no surviving. They will kill you if they move. Unlike Helios, when he moves, you're not dead. You're like, okay, I took damage. That's it. So that's the reason why I call him the worst royal in the game. And his rune synergy is quite bad. So once you get his relics, his gold ones, right? Once you get those, they only buff reflect, or no, they don't even buff reflect. Every time you get attacked with reflect, he can stun the enemy team, but it's not a great stun because it's only 25% chance, and the 25% chance is not even accurate because when you play against other teams with resistance, it goes down. So even if you do stun, are you going to even stun? That's the question. So he's terrible. And even if you do reflect, you'd probably be dead by then because Doom has no survivability. So that's why he's the worst character in the game for now. But if he does get buffs, he would be really strong. He used to be one of the strongest royals in the game. But I don't know why they nerfed him this bad. This to the point where you don't want to use him. So yeah, he's quite bad. Next, Ardina. I put her in C. The reason why she isn't as strong is because there's other people in the Avengers that's really strong, and there's actually no need for you to use her. Yeah, I guess that she has buffs in her team. She's a DPS support just like Gwyn, but Gwyn is more of a passive DPS support. So even if he's not moving, he is providing. Unlike Ardina, she provides a heal, but it's only once per round. Or no, it's twice per round, which is not that great. Because they already have high sustain from Persephone and other healers in their team, so there's no point to have more healing. And her DPS is not that strong. Her ultimate's strong, but her second ability is a support. She just increases attack. So again, her overall DPS is not that strong because she can be strong in round 2, but in round 3 she's now useless because she just apply attack. So she's kind of a weird character in the game, and her speed is like 97 or 95, something slow like that. So again, slow and not that useful. So she's definitely C for now. The best part about her kit is that she can have good rune synergies, but you don't care to get those rune synergies because again, she's not a good character and she is enchanter. So if enchanters get stronger in the future, you could have her there in a team just for the enchanter, but I doubt we ever get to that stage where we have so much enchanters that we can throw in someone garbage and it would work. Idora, I think Idora is the best character in the game right now. I think Janna and her are on the same level as how good they are. I'd think Idora is a bit better because Idora can ult multiple times. She has crazy sustain in her synergy being ethereals. Her having shields and healing is insane. And then even if she does get picked by Nyx, let's say you put her in the backline and someone like Nyx or Naui does kill her in round 1, she can come back alive and it's like nothing really happened. Unlike many characters in the game, they can't really come back alive. So yeah, that's the only good thing about Idora that I like compared to Janna. Janna can come back alive, but it's next round because they are Avengers. But you can't really snipe a Janna round 1. That's going to be hard to do. But you can kill Idora round 1 if you have characters that can kill her, like Nyx and Naui with Ignore Shield. So she does lack in that situation, but her speed is really good. I think it's 106, so she's faster than most DPSs in the game. She isn't faster than Lamar or Janna, but her job in this game isn't really about the speed because she can ult in round 1, so the speed doesn't really matter. So she can do a lot of things for 108, 106 speed, and she is really strong even without the rune synergies. The fact that she can come back alive is just insane. And she has healing rupture, preventing people from healing. And if you do heal, you will take a lot of damage. So again, she is a bit of a support and a super DPS, if you want to call it that. Dohan, he is B. The reason why I put him in B, because he's definitely better than these two garbage at the bottom, that's for sure. But the current meta he's in, being a Mystifier, is even worse. And he is Monarchs. Monarchs is really good. You can put Monarchs in any team and they will still be good. That's the good thing he has going for him, that you can put him in a Glorian team for the Monarchs and he will still provide. He's just in a meta where you can't actually do anything with him. If you put him against a Glorian team, he can't taunt, and that's mainly why you want to have him, because you can have an annoying taunt. And if you can't taunt, then what's the point, right? And his healing isn't that great because you don't really need healing on this game. This game is just about all powerhouse in another team. The sustain is nice if it's a shield, but healing isn't quite the popular thing, because everything's just a powerhouse. You'll probably be dead in round 2, round 3, so healing isn't that important. So again, his rune synergy is quite bad, and his kit is good, but it's just in the bad meta, with Glorians being a really strong team for most people as their second team. But the good thing about him, he is a demon given the holy shield, and he is a monarch, making sustain really good for his team. It's just that he's a mystifier and his damage isn't that great. As a tank, he's not like a Janna, right? Janna's a tank and he's a tank, but Janna's DPS is way higher than his. That's what I tried to say. Nyx. I definitely think Nyx is one of the best characters in the game. Her rune synergies are really good. She can apply a stun on the legendary, and she can apply a second turn of Deathbringer, her second ability, every turn after her original turn. So she can attack twice in 2 rounds, which means that she can use her second ability every single round, or with Striker, meaning that she can get the Striker buff with it being even stronger. And if you do have the X10 on her Deathbringer, she could probably one-shot someone in round 1, and she could probably one-shot someone in round 2. And if you're insanely lucky, I doubt you are, but if you're insanely lucky, you can probably get X10 twice in round 1. If you can get Deathbringer twice, which you can, there's a chance of you to proc Deathbringer first in round 1, and you can proc it again after with the rune synergies, meaning that you can bypass Monarchs. If you didn't know that, Nyx can bypass Monarchs with her rune synergy, because her rune synergy is an action. So every action means that you can bypass Monarchs, because Monarchs is action based. So yeah, she is really strong against Monarchs. Monarchs is again one of the strongest rune synergies in the game. If you can bypass that, that's amazing. She can do that. She's also a strong powerhouse. Her synergies are really good. Rao, Demon, Striker. Good for PvE, good for PvP. Overall, a good character. Her speed's 105. So again, 105 is really strong at the moment. In the future, it might not be. And the way you use Nyx is that you can one-shot anyone in her direction. So any backline would die. Literally, you can kill any backline if she has enough power. And overall, a good character. The only bad thing about her is that she might fall off in the future for her speed, because 105 is kind of falling off right now. As you can see, Carak and Idora 106, and then Victoria's 106, and then Janna and then Lamar are like 108. So as you can see that the DPSs are kind of slowly getting faster, and Janna might be slow when the Gen 4 rows come out, or Nyx might be slower when the Gen 4's rows come out, but overall a really strong character as of right now, and she can fit in any team. I've run her in Doom. She's not that bad for Doom, because you can probably nearly one-shot someone in the enemy team. So when they do move with the rune synergy from Doom, they just die, right? So that's a good part. She can be used in Avengers, because she has Striker working with Selene and Solomon, and she has Demon working with Ardina or Janna, and then Val, again, she's the best in Val because she has damage increase, and she can be used in pretty much any team. You can maybe use her in Ethereal next patch, because they do get a Striker Ethereal, so she may be good there. So overall, a good character. Talos, I say he's A. The reason why I say he's A is because he isn't going to be S tier. There's no way he can be S tier, and there is a few counters. Unlike Gwyn, there's only one counter to Gwyn. It's the Lachesis. She can just apply the buff remover and remove all the stacks from the enemy team. But unlike Talos, there's a lot of counters to him. You can use Seraphina, the new addition to the game, that can bypass shield. The shield ignore is so strong. If you haven't seen it, then please watch one of my old videos, or go ask anyone that has Seraphina and they can tell you. You can bypass any shield in this game, or not Holy Shield, but anyone that can apply a shield. Twins, Catherine, Talos, you can bypass any shield, and it's so strong to bypass a shield, because you're just fighting pure HP. If you can fight pure HP, that means you can pretty much one-shot anyone in an enemy team if it's just going to be HP based, because the shields have a lot of high scaling, like Talos. His shield has got a high scaling because it's based off his HP. And in the tree, you know, the PvP where you get these buffs. So for example, you may get 60% damage HP increase if you have a Celestial. That's where someone like Talos comes even stronger, because it makes the shield even stronger than the way it was. And if you have his rune synergies, which you may not do, but if you do have it, it increases his shield even stronger. But if you have someone like Seraphina, you just bypass his shields, making him just useless. So That's one of the bad things about him. And if you have Lachesis, you can just remove the shields, making him useless again. The good part about him is that he's 115 speed, so he is going to move before multiple people in this game. And he has Monarchs, again, like I said before, Monarchs is insane. And he's a support with Monarchs, so really good. It's just that he can get countered by a few characters, and in the future, he's going to get countered even more. And he is Mystifiers, unlike Gwyn. Gwyn's a Glorian, so he's got a better benefit than him, because Mystifiers is trash, even by themselves. I think they're the worst synergy by themselves. They're the worst synergy because you don't care for one or two Mystifiers. Unlike Val, if you have two Vals, that's really strong because it increases physical damage for those two. But with Mystifiers, it does nothing. Cath, I put Cath as high A. The reason why I put her high A is because there's a lot of people that can do her job better than her, like Selene. If you are free to play, or you're like a low spender or mid spender, Selene's just going to do way more than Cath because they do the exact same thing. They scale off healing. But unlike the healing, Selene has no cap on his healing. As if he gets more heals, he would always get stronger. Catherine gets stuck at a certain point of the game, so you can't overheal unless you have the relic. I think it's called Knight's Edge. If you have that, then she's really strong. But there's too much investment to make her really strong, and you might as well use that investment somewhere else. And another thing that makes her worse than Selene can die and come back alive with Avengers, which is the best point because you can come back alive and get more damage for coming back alive. With Mystifiers, there's nothing really like that. So if you use her in the Mystifier team, sure, she'll be strong, but what's the point, right? Because Mystifiers are terrible, so there's no need to actually put her in Mystifiers. She is good universal, she can be good in other teams, but I just don't see the point of using her compared to anyone else. Her speed is 105, so she will fall off in the future because she is getting slower, and people like Idora can counter her with the healing, and overall, she can be good. There's nothing bad about her. It's just that she's getting weaker as time goes on. So she's going to be A for now compared to these people. She's A because she can't apply a stun. She can't really do anything. She's just a powerhouse that's going to get weaker in the future because there is power creep in this game, and the power creep will kill her and they will drop as time will go on. So maybe in the future she might be down here in the future, but for now she's high A for me. Seraphina, I think Seraphina is one of the strongest healers in the game, or strongest healing supports in the game, apart from Carak, because Carak is the best. Seraphina is really strong if you're fighting Ethereals because she has Shield at Nor, carrying Catherine by miles. It does crazy work against Catherine. You can kill a Catherine and a whole team with the Shield at Nor. And if you're fighting twins, for example, I know Glorians are a strong free-to-play team. If you use her against their own team, she can stop people like twins doing something. And if you do get the Shield at Nor in round 1, if you're lucky you can get round 1, you can bypass Monarchs with the shield because Monarchs work with shields. And if you didn't know that, if you bypass the shield and you can bypass Monarchs with Nyx, then you can pretty much kill that free-to-play team. But it's going to be hard for you to kill them, but you can kill them. So her duty as a support, applying the shield at Nor, I think it's called Divide, where you can make someone in the enemy team deal damage to their own team. Yeah, that's really good too. It's just that her overall kit with the blessing, being super annoying. If you don't know what blessing is, blessing's a holy shield. She can basically give a holy shield to her team, and she can make people not get stunned in her team. Again, that's really annoying to deal with. She's really quick, being 126, so she's never going to be bad in the future. And the blessing with the healing, with the shield at Nor, with the damage divide on the enemy team, she's so annoying. She's really good at the moment. And she is good in any team. She's universal. You can use her in literally any team. I've tried her in Val. I've tried her in Doom. I've tried her in every team. She can be used to every team. And she is Celestial Striker. So you can use her against... you can use her with other DPSs like Nyx, like Selene, like Cath. You can use her in pretty much any team. You can even use her in a ethereal team if you want to fight another ethereal team. Because if you can shield it more with Idora, they're both actually going to have a good synergy with the celestial buff and shield at Nor. So they're both good together. It's just that she won't fall off. She's kind of a unique support. And unlike other supports, they do similar things, increase damage or something. Yeah, she does something completely different. So yeah, really good character. And the only character that had a similar thing to her was Bastet. they both have shield at naught. It's a backstab one is quite bad. It can only do for one target in your team. Unlike Seraphina, it can apply to everyone on your team. So yeah, and she has a relic too, if you didn't know. The new shield that came out, it's based off Seraphina. So not only that she has a good kit, she has a good relic synergy too with the link bonus. So yeah, a strong character. Karnak's definitely up here. I'll put him as one of the third. I think he's like the third strongest character in the game. His healing is insane. He's in the strong team. He is a 106 speed DPS. So well, again, like I said, he's going to be faster than most, which means he's good in the future. And he doesn't have to move to get his heal, unlike Seraphina. Seraphina has to heal to move the heal, and Janna has to do the exact same thing to apply a shield. Unlike Karnak, he just heals his team from being alive. He just had to exist, and that's really annoying when you're fighting him. Is that people can heal from being there, and his heal has no cap. So if you do a lot of damage, you're gonna heal off your damage. There's no cap to his healing. Unlike other healers in the game, there is a cap to their healing because it's based off HP and what, and you can't really go over your HP because you only can get a certain amount of HP in the game. Unlike Karnak, the stronger you get, the stronger healing you're getting, so he's quite annoying. And he has the execute in his kit. If you didn't know, he has in his rune synergy, he has the execute just like the Vow. And if you can execute someone, it's really strong because you can bypass blessing. If you didn't know, execute bypass blessing, and execute is really strong because you can kill someone once they get to the threshold. I think the threshold is like 20% HP or 10% HP. Yeah, that's really nice to have it execute on a ethereal. So yeah, nothing bad about him. He's definitely universal too. You can use him outside of ethereal, but it's not ideal, but you can do it. And he's good in PvE too. One of the best characters in PvE and one of the best characters in PvP. So yeah, he's like one of the best characters overall in this game. Macaria, I put Macaria high S. She could be one of the best characters in the game because she does have a lot of things about her. It's just that she's kind of getting weak at the moment. Again, like I said, the shield at naught is automatically annoying, and more characters in the future will have that. And yeah, apart from that, everything about her is good. She has Monarch, she's a Vow, she's a demon, she's quite quick, she can hit multiple people. Her rune synergy isn't the greatest because you need to kill people for her to ult again. But if you do kill people, she's really good. But again, in round 2 or round 3, she may be dead by then. So the rune synergy may not even work by then. That's the bad thing about her. Her rune synergy may not even apply in your fight because you have to kill people for it to be activated. And by round 3, she could be dead and not applying her rune synergy. Unlike everyone else, their rune synergy applies in round 1 and round 2. So that's the good thing about rune synergies, that they can apply before round 3. Because before round 3, you're basically dead and the game's over. If you can have it after that, if you can have your rune synergy before round 3, that's insane. If you can't have it before round 3, it's trash. So her rune synergy isn't the greatest, unlike the people above her. But her kit is really good with Monarchs, and she can be good in any team. You could put her in Doom, you can put her in Gloriant, you can put her in Vow, you can even put her in Ethereal. Overall, one of the better characters in the game. She is borderline one of the best characters in the game, but I can't really put her up there compared to these ones up above, because these ones above are just outstanding. High speed, high DPS, and they can do more things than just damage. Victoria's really strong. Again, they're both the same. I don't really have much to say about Victoria. Victoria and Macaria basically they're like twins. They do exactly the same thing and they work together. They both have Vow and they both have the royal buff and they both have Monarchs. They're like best friends pretty much. One person can apply shields and one person can increase shields. So again, they're definitely good together. You can always run them together or run them without one another, and they're good in any team. Again, Victoria can work in Glorian, she can work in Vow, she can work in any team. And Macaria can do the same. It's just that the only difference between those two is that Victoria can mainly only attack the front line, and she's 106 speed, and Macaria is 105, and she can attack random people in an enemy team. So yeah, they're pretty much the same character. Oh yeah, and she has bind too. Victoria has bind in PvE and PvP, so that's kind of annoying to deal with. But yeah, I think Victoria is stronger than Macaria if you do get her in a certain team where she can actually shine. And Macaria is not so far away from her. It's just that bind is a bit too strong. Lakeisha, I'll put her in high A. To me, she's not that strong because she can remove buffs, and I do think the new characters in the future will get that because we need more characters that can remove buffs. her healing isn't the greatest. She can heal a lot, but again, if you want healing, you can run Seraphina, just be normal. She does fight one of the strongest teams in the game. She can remove buffs like Holy Shield. She can be a counter to Gwyn. She can be a counter to Glorian. It's just that if you're not using her to remove buffs, there's no need to use her. In my opinion, anyway. If you're not actually using her to remove buffs, then there's no need to use her. Unlike Seraphina, if you're looking for a healer that can provide a lot of assistance, then you would want to use Seraphina. If you want to use a healer that can remove buffs, then you want to use Lachesis, but there's actually no point to use her apart from that. She is not striker, so she is enchanter, so she can be up here with everyone else. She can be one of the better supports in the game. It's just that enchanter is not that great right now because there's not a lot of characters. I know enchanter is really strong, it can be powerful, but as at the moment, there's not a lot of enchanters right now, and she's not going to actually be as strong as she should be. And in PvE, she's quite weird. In PvE, her speed is like 119 or something like that. She's got like an odd speed in PvE. But in PvP, she is strong, but I think Seraphina outshines her in every single way apart from removing buffs. So if you're not using her to remove buffs, then there's no need to use it at all. Aristar, I'll put her in like, here. She is really strong as a support. She is one of the better. I think she's like one of the better Dooms or one of the best Dooms in the game because she has a link skill with the scale. But you can't use her in any team. Her universal is quite bad. If you use her in any other team, you're kind of trolling because there's no need to use her in any other team. Her best teams are Doom and Avengers. You can put her in Avengers and she can work with Janna and she can work with the amount of enchanters they have. I think they have 3 now. They have 3 enchanters. That's quite good, but there's no need to use her at the moment because she kind of is useless in most teams. Her kit can apply confusion. Confusion's OP, and she can remove buffs in your team, and she can increase damage, but she doesn't do a lot of damage because her kit is half support, half DPS, and her rune synergy is kind of awful if you don't have a lot of enchanters in your team. So can be good, but you have to wait and see in the future if she can be any better than what she is now. But she's definitely better than Talos in my opinion because confusion has kind of no counter and it's so annoying to be confused in fights because you can't do nothing. And it kind of, when you do get confused, it makes your team's DPS pattern so odd. So one would ult, one won't, and then in the next fight, one would ult and one can't. It's kind of awkward. So yeah, that is a good part about her. And she is good in Doom. She's good and in Avengers, but she's terrible outside. We got one person left. Damn, I thought we had multiple people left. Mass, he's definitely I would say he's B. The reason why he's B is because there's a new royal coming out, and I think the new royal kind of takes his position in the game. I think the new royal, being a Gen 4 royal, would definitely outshine Mass by a miles. And there's too many royals in the fields that's already good. You got Carak, who's never going to lose his position. You got Idora, that's never going to lose her position. And then you've got the next one coming in that's not going to lose her position. Then you have to make room for Catherine. Catherine always has to be there. So again, would Mass actually be useful? I doubt it because you can just run someone else being better. But if you want to run a full team with ethereals and you want to run a full team with a lot of royals, then of course you want to use him. But I don't think there's actually no point I don't think there's a point actually using Mass because he's just a single target powerhouse and they already got a lot of damage. They just need more things to be annoying, like proper buffs, like a damage increase buff or something like that. I do think the new royal coming out will be damage increase. I do assume it's going to be damage increase, that the new royal can apply a damage increase to the team or crit damage buff to the team. Unlike Mass, he doesn't really do much like that. I do think he's not better than any of the royals in Ethereal. He's just there. So again, apart from an enchanter, I don't think he's that great. He is quite slow. I think he's 99 speed or 97. That's quite trash. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my my tier list. Most people won't agree. It's not really for you to agree. It's just you to watch and see if it's good enough for you. My one is like based off what I see and what I know from everyone from S servers to T servers. But this is mainly just to help people if you don't understand the game. So again, if you do play the game and you're new, avoid getting Ardina, avoid getting Helios. Try to get these people at the top if you can. If you do get Dohan or Mass, it's not the end of the world. They can be useful, but not right now. Everyone in A tier is quite useful in some part of the game, and then everyone in A and everyone in S and the best are just they're just overall OP in every situation. Talos is good in PvE because you get I think it's what is it, the trial bonus in celestial trials. Macaria the same thing. Victoria really strong. Lamar is really annoying and she can always be strong, and everyone up here will never lose a position in the game. Maybe Nyx might lose her position, but I doubt it. So yeah, if you did like the video, please like and subscribe. And if you want me to do any other tier lists in the game, just let me know. But I think I've already done. I think I've done many, but they're not updated. But yeah, thanks for watching.